What makes you feel like a puppy?
What makes me feel like a puppy? What makes me feel like a puppy is um being slightly wet from like the dew of the grass that I just lay down on in the sun and just like feeling like my body like um what is it called? Shivering to like out of the cold and getting it out. That makes me feel like a puppy. It makes me feel like I'm not witnessing myself. I'm not noticing myself. I'm just sort of like vibrating like a little puppy does.
Oh, that's awesome. Are there any toys that make you feel like a puppy? Um, or like I don't like using the word tools, but like toys where you find intrinsic rewards and just playing with them.
I like that. That feels sweet and resonant as a use of the word tools and toys. For me, I've been thinking about cats more often recently, but if I think about a puppy, the thing that comes to mind is like a ball or a frisbee. I love running after things. I really do. It's embarrassing, but it's fun. And I remember as recently as last year, I believe it was during the pandemic, I was spending time with my parents, my family. They're older than me. They can't be as physically active, but one of the ways that we'd engage is my mother would literally throw frisbees and I would go run for them, try to catch them like a fucking dog. And and I would run them back to her, which was fantastic exercise. I loved running. I actually hate running as an activity, but I love running for things because there's a
Yeah,
purpose, like a
yeah.
fucking dog. And I don't know what the neighbors thought. If I was younger, maybe they would have reported me to Child Protection Services, but it turned out to be fine.
Yeah. Um, so I think what a puppy represents, for me at least, is like parallel to what a cat represents. So you said you were thinking about a cat.
Yes.
Uh, what makes you feel like a cat? A kid, I don't know.
For me, cats have hot girl energy. What That's what I call it. They have that like sense of you approach me, you you scritch me, you feed me, you give me love, and I will give you nothing in exchange, but it will be a transaction complete unto itself because you wanted to give me something and you did. And that's something that speaks to me as someone who has been learning what it means to receive from people.
Huh.
It's fantastic. It's been great. I admire them. I love them. I feel inspired by them. I'm like, you are my teachers. I want to understand how to do this, and it works. I just sit down like a cat, and people come up to me and give me free love, and I'm like, this is great.
Is that like on Twitter or like in the real world?
Both really.
Okay.
Twitter is where I post a lot about it, but in the real world is where I just get to practice it.
Yeah.
Being a puppy is more like running up to people and giving them like lots of like undiscriminating love, which is also awesome.
Yeah.
But I felt like I had more of a handle on that and really wanted that other thing, and now I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So allow me to like ask you a few things. Like
Sure.
what is the focal point of the puppy here mean to you?
Ah, a lot of things. So I mean to me a puppy, uh it seems like the puppy doesn't judge. So I enjoy that because that's like I enjoy improv and like the lessons, the teachings from improv. And one of the principles is like letting go of your connotations and your judgment and just doing. Um, and I think the puppy hasn't uh, indulged in like so much surplus like that we have around us, especially with the internet. Um, and they're content just laying down. they don't have to be like constantly stimulated. That's really admirable. It seems like they're okay with being bored or they constantly entertain themselves.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing. And it's just kindness, like just like going over to someone, giving them love. It's just for me, I've been obsessed with this like uh idea of a dog and a puppy for like throughout my life. Like I tried to convince my parents to get a puppy for maybe 3 to 5 years. And then my mom saw How to Train a Dragon and she's like, okay, I'm convinced.
Really? That was what it
Yeah,
took?
yeah.
Maybe I should have my mother watch it.
Um, and then I observed like the puppy being like awed by everything. Like the first winter, he was like, "Oh, look, this is amazing," and then like he played in the snow, and I feel like we forget that. We forget how to play, and that's not good. And we should all be more like puppies.
What's your puppy's name?
Percy,
Percy?
yeah,
Is that from Percy Jackson?
it is.
Uh, one of the only series in my life that I've actually waited for the next like installments of the series to come out. Every other series, I hated that experience so much. I would wait until it's all out before I read it.
Yeah,
I like that. I even like the idea of like this project somehow being like dedicated to like Percy specifically, like
yeah,
inspired by a specific thing in the world,
yeah.
creature in the world.